So here's the speed of what I did. I set the pose first before we started, just so I'd have an idea what to do. I don't want to waste time thinking up the pose as we start. So here I am just plotting out where everything is, just laying down basic line art. Very simple stuff, just constructing everything, make sure it's all in the right meaty points, checking if the limbs are in the right length, and just basically getting the general shape before I actually put any details. Now the subject is Kana Sukoya from Nijisanji. I think she has a really cool design, so I decided to make her for the art stream. So anyway, here I am working on the actual line art, working on the arms and head. So just putting everything down, figuring out how arms work, putting down, remembering where the biceps are, and then working through the rest of it. I'll work on the hands later since they're really detailed. So there's the legs, feet. I didn't put much detail in the crotch area because she has a skirt, so it doesn't need much that planning. Here I am working on the hands, just putting a fist, moving things around. Since I made this pose like she's jumping, so I figured, yeah, something playful. And yeah, nothing as playful as a closed hand, I'm sure. Yeah, so putting down the fingers, making sure they're the right shape. I made a lot of adjustments to the hands. I wanted them to be just right. And yeah, basically get the right shape of everything. So I've been constantly checking my hands, looking at my knuckles, looking at mirrors and different angles. Sometimes I'd even look up pictures just to make sure it looks right. So there's a lot of drawing and adjusting, a lot of redrawing, a lot of tune-up. I think that's what makes my art take a long time to do, because I still don't have a clear understanding of everything. So I always go back to it and fix it quite often, rather than already knowing where everything is. So yeah, I adjust the head, make sure it's in the middle, and then add the chest area. Also a lot of adjustments. I'm surprised. I'm usually really straightforward there. I guess you could say I've been rusty for a long time, so it's been a while since I've actually worked on that. So yeah, I start working on the clothes. There's the dress. Some adjustments to the arms, adding sleeves, and more adjustments. Working on the collar, double checking if it's consistent with the neck. And I tried it again, just after a bit of adjusting. And then the apron. She wears an apron over the nurse dress, so yeah. It's really good to establish where the middle of the body is. And then we work on the sleeves, just add more detailing, figuring out where the cloth falls. And yeah, just more adjusting as we go. Get the right curve. It's an odd curve for my hand to do, so I kept going back at it. And yeah, I keep going. Keep going back to it, making sure it's right. And I check the reference images a lot. So yeah, keep working in it, adding the folds, and yeah, generally adding more detail as we go, more adjustments to the arms and sleeves. Basically clothe the body underneath. And then we work on I can't call them sleeves, they're basically wrist gloves. So I had to redraw the hand because the angle was weird. But you know, this one turned out a bit faster since I already have an idea how to draw a fist. So still a bit more redrawing, but still I think it turned out way better than the old one. And there's the bandages. I'll repeat again on the other hand. She wears like a cufflink bandages with surgical gloves. And then the frills. Just, yeah. Add the little frilly things. fix it up, make sure there's no blank space, and then we add in the pink colors. Basically the design, the graphics of her clothes. Yeah, just adding around her very distinct magenta accents all over the place. So sleeves, apron, maybe later on the hat, and then we're working on the shoes. Very, very simple stuff. Sort of. I keep going back to it, but yeah. And then I work on the toes here. Been a while since I've drawn feet. And just get the shape right, then remove the detail, since I assume she's wearing leggings. And yeah, adjust the foot size. I think it was too long when I started out. Then I started cleaning up all the underlines that I won't use, and work on fixing the shoes. Now for the other foot. I actually messed this up first, not because of the shoes, but like the feet. I initially drew the wrong, like the wrong toes for the feet. Like it was the right foot, but I drew left foot toes. So I've spent a lot of time making this, messed it up. I had to delete and start over. I really should have paid more attention. But yeah, anyway, still did it, redrew, fixed the foot, removed the details, added the strap, lots of redrawing, making sure it all looks fine, fix the knee, and then adding the pockets. Now the pockets here, they get a little tricky since it's on a fold and perspective. So I kept adjusting the apron a lot until I thought, you know what, let's just fix the apron wholesale and then just remove that whole bit and move the whole apron there. So it covers most of her leg now. And then move the pocket further, adjust the size, add more detail. Yeah, add more of her distinct symbols and colors. Just fill in those little nice accents. And then comes the hair. Hair was also pretty tricky. Since she was jumping, I had to make it like flow around. Like she was jumping, like the hair is flying up. Obviously it's not straight down or like affected by gravity a little. So I had to put a bit of a waviness to the twin tails. Here it is, yeah. I had better luck with the left side and I just added a stupid face. I added a bit. I'm more proud of the left side. I think I got it better there. So eventually I started working on the right side, her right. I think I had to redraw this. I got really frustrated. So I thought, just remove the whole thing and then do it all over again. So I kept tinkering with that, removed it. Eventually I got frustrated, just deleted it and then made a draft. I painted there, yeah, like that, just to see the general shape. Then I worked around that, which I think gave me more success since I had a better idea rather than just putting lines down. So I think it's good to plan the shape beforehand, like every draft. And yeah, just filling it in, adding a bit of the messiness, I think. Just the pointiness. It's not silky smooth. Then we add the hat. Just fill out the details. Well, I took a short break for a moment, and then just fix the hair a bit. Fix the hat. Make sure it's big enough, but not too big. And yeah, just make sure the hair is shaping around it, and more detailing. So I start working on the face, the eyes. The eyes I take extra care. I wanted to, I'm just messing around at a mouth. So I kept adjusting the eyes and face a lot since, the general proportions of it, sizes, position. And I started thinking how to position the mouth and the teeth. She has very distinct teeth. So a lot of resizing, a lot of adjustment, erasing, just figuring out where the shapes fall in, and then constantly erasing. This is where it takes so long for me to draw everything, because I'm really bad at planning. But yeah, lots of adjustments until I'm satisfied. This whole work is 10 hours long. I've compressed it to what, 14 minutes? And yeah, I just played around, adjusted the head shape and size, added a bit of transparency so you can see a bit of the eyes under the hair. And yeah, just position it, double check if the jaw shape is right, and moving things around. More adjustments, adding pupils, and fixing the hair and shape. Here's our little accessory thing. There we go. And then the crosses. The totally not red cross crosses because they're magenta. Just add it to the hat. Adjusting, and yeah, double check. See how it all works together. And then, yeah, I start filling in the bases. Last minute adjustments to the line, a few details. But this is when I start laying down the bases, which is actually a lot faster because, yeah, it's easier to just put everything down, the rough color, and then we can adjust it later. So I put everything down, frills, filling it in, gloves, arms, little buttons, her belt buttons, hair, leggings, no, all that stuff. Just lay down the bases and then we can adjust the colors as we go. See what works together. And then fill everything in. Yeah, there. And then just, I think the eyes I'm most proud of because there is a bit of a gradient there. Like a manual gradient. And there is a bit of spots. I added a bit of spots to the top part. Just to add a bit more color and vibrancy. And then just filling in the mouth, making sure everything is nice. And I filled in the back with green just to look for any spots that I might have missed coloring. If you notice from the layers, there's a green underground. So this is when I start laying down the grayscale for shading. So I use black with opacity, so I can still see the lines underneath as I lay down the shadows. I think this is the most fun because you already know where most of the structure is, so it's all about shading. And then just working around it, knowing where the light source is, putting the details, hands, legs, clothing, more of that stuff, just the little bits. Underneath the belt, underneath the wrists, clothes, chest area, all this over there. And the hair, make sure everything's there. And yeah, just lay it all down. When I zoom back often too, just to check if the general shape is there. And I think grayscaling is really good because it lays it down, the 3D-ness, without color mucking your judgment. So here, we're laying down the other colors of the clothes, the shadows of the folds, details of the hand, and the frills. My goodness, the frills. So much shading there. And yeah, just adding folds, and there. Looks alright. So we move that to a mask to show the shade underground, under the layer, see the darker colors. And yeah, I start laying down the lights, the highlights shine on the hair, a bit on the dress, and I think a bit on the leggings too, yes. And then I missed the logo, so I added that, just fixing up the coloring. Few details I missed, added sheen, fill it in the lights, play with the colors, double check if I missed any details, and then yeah, added a bit of blush, you know, because your face produces heat. And yeah, I think that's it. I created the background, also very simple, wanted something minimalist, so I thought, hey, let's just use her cross. And you know, I'm really bad with cross, I just made a really tiny one, made it bigger, made a second one on top to have the 3D shape, and then just duplicated tiny ones, make it fun. And that's my signature. And yeah, that's it. That's the final product. Isn't that great? So anyway, I want to do more stuff like this. Maybe next week, maybe another day. We'll see what we can do. For now, see you next time.